Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dragon Keep here, and welcome to part 4 of What If Deku and Momo Were Destined to Be. I never get tired you'd have seen this picture. Look at this is so cute! Oh! Okay, stay focused, Dragon. Stay focused. Now, we last left off with Bakugo being captured. Of course, All Might saw this. It says Bakugo has been captured, which gives lots of concern to Ida. But in his head, All Might is thinking, this kid will be useful. This could be perfect for my quirk. Well, for my successor. And as Izuku went up to where Momo was and saw that Ida was causing Momo some trouble. He quickly created a sword and said, "Momo! And why? Catch!" Momo catches the sword. And knocks and blocks Tenya's attack. As Izuku rushed over to the bomb, touched it, and bam! Momo and Deku and Izuku won. And as they exit, Momo says, hey, that was great. You were great out there. Izuku said, yeah, you too, Momo. They both sighed and said, well, Momo said, Izuku, and Izuku said, Momo, they both chuckled and Izuku said, sorry, you go first. And Momo says, oh, okay, well, I'm not exactly sure how I should tell you this, but then sure enough, All Might steps in, says, hey kids, great work out there. Hey, Miss Young Yaoyorozu, would you mind if I talk to young Midoriya? Hey, Yaoyorozu, you and young Midoriya sure are a great team. Speaking of which, young Midoriya, will you please see me later after class? Izuku said, "Oh, sure. Sure thing, All Might." Izuku and All Might said, "Perfect. See you then, kid." And Izuku said, "Oh, sorry. I don't know why, but every time we try to talk to each other, it seems that something is just blocking us out." Anyway, as I was going to say, and then Ida came in and says, "Hey, you two should get going. Rig, it's the next turn. It's the next team's turn." Izuku said, "Oh, yeah, sorry." Izuku then said to Momo, "Sorry, MY. Maybe next time." As they both sighed at disappointments with disappointing the looks going the other way. And Bakugo is seeing this, is like, "Yeesh, get a room." A room. Do I have to express their love for each other? For them? Gosh. And sure enough, class ends. As Momo walks home and is soon greeted with Ida. Well, is stopped by Ida and Uraraka. They get to talking, and while they're talking, Izuku finds All Might and says, "Hey, All Might, you wanted to chat with me?" And then All Might then turns back and goes into Small Might, explains his injury, and explains one for all. And says, "Kid, you've shown great courage and mobility back there. I would like you to be my successor." Izuku said, "Sure, I would love to be your successor." All Might said, "To be honest, I wasn't sure if you were going to say yes to it, or even if you were going to respond, since your head is filled with your friend." Izuku says, What do you mean? Oh, is that obvious?" All Might just said, "Haha, to be honest, I'm not even sure how young Yaoyorozu doesn't realize it herself. If you want my advice, kid, you gotta stick to it." But anyways, Izuku Izuku is then given one for all, well, by eating All Might's hair. Izuku then rushes out to find Uraraka, Ida, and Momo sitting by a bench together. Izuku's saying, "Oh, and why? Why? I'm glad to see. I'm glad you came to. That you stopped by. Would you like to go walk home with me again?" Momo said, "Oh, sure. Izuku, these are my new friends. You already know Tenya Ida, and this is Uchako Raka." Izuku says, well, any friend of Mo and Wise is a friend of mine. I'm Izuku. Izuku Midoriya. And sure enough, they get to talking, and sure enough, we skip to the US, to when they go to the USJ. Izuku then thinks to himself, the USJ, it's probably the perfect time. Probably one of the perfect times for me to tell Momo how I feel about her. To be honest, does she feel the same? And Momo is thinking, well, the same thing, but with Izuku. And sure enough, they get to the bus to go to the USJ. And everyone on there is talking as Floppy's as Suyu says, hey Midoriya. Yeah. How exactly does your quirk, the way you made that catapult was really strange, girl. How exactly does your quirk work? Izuku says, oh, well, I can absorb anything that isn't a solid. And once I do, I'm able to craft what I absorb into anything I want. I can put more of what I absorb into the object that I create. But the thing is, I need to know what I'm creating before I create it. Plus, the more I put into the object, the stronger it is. The object that I make is also not only immune to the thing that it has been made with, but that material actually makes it stronger. And when it says, that makes sense. And Kaminari just said, "I'm sorry, that just went over my head so fast." And Izuku replied, "Allow me to dumb it down. I can absorb liquids, gases. I can absorb anything that isn't solid, and craft it, and use the materials to craft anything I want." And then Denki said, "Ah, okay, now I get it." Then whispers to Mineta, I still don't get it." They get to the USJ, and bam! Villains attack. And sure enough, Kurogiri separates the students. With Jiro going with Sue and Mineta, and Izuku going with Denki and Momo. Lots of enemies are coming their way. Izuku then says, "Hey, Kaminari, Momo, I got an idea. Momo, make something that'll protect you. Kaminari, get your electric going to about 1,000,000 volts." Momo says, "What about you? Won't you get hurt by electricity?" Izuku said, "I tried. Don't you remember when I was 8? I just absorbed the power. Don't you remember what happened when I was 8? Izuku and Momo said, "Oh yeah, you put your hand on a power outage, which shocked you, and then the whole house went black." Yeah, Izuku said, "Yeah. Anyway, let's get to it. Go, go, go!" As that Zik does, and once it's all done, of course, Denki is going, and of course, a villain grabs him and says, "Alright, move," and he dies. Izuku says, "No one's taking one of my classmates on my watch." That makes a sword out of the electricity that he has absorbed. And pretty much it was all of it. He goes over to the villain when he keeps slicing at him with the sword. And soon the villain is knocked unconscious. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, boom, slap the like button across the face. Catch you next one, guys. Laters.